Hi dear students, now this is hash 45 history of English literature and we are covering Middle English period, and in Middle English period there is again we have Age of Chaucer. So let's talk about Age of Chaucer and who were the poets in this period which were important and what kind of works they have composed. So let's see. And so very first we have Age of Chaucer, and this age is considered right from 1350 to 1400, and this age has given the name of Chaucer because Chaucer is the morning star of English literature or rising star of English literature, and from here we find English literature has developed up to a very great extent, and different kinds of genres and forms were evolved during this period. And let's see who is the important authors in this period. Very first we have Chaucer himself, and this is the portrait of Chaucer you can see, and his date of birth is considered in 1340. It is not confirmed, but it is assumed. Then we have he died in 1400. So this is the lifespan of Geoffrey Chaucer, and he composed some of the important works like you see Roman of the Rose. It is a translation of French Roman de la Rose, means Romance of the Rose. It is also an important translation by Geoffrey Chaucer. Second, Death of Blanche the Duchess. So this work also is important, composed by Geoffrey Chaucer. Actually Geoffrey Chaucer's works has been divided into three periods, and these works are in first period, second period or third period. So this kind of categorization we have regarding Geoffrey Chaucer. So this also comes in first period, this also comes in first period. Then we have Complaint of Pity comes in first period, ABC also in his first period. So ABC is a prayer translated from French, and this prayer also has went into the households of England, and it was very famous. Then we have Troilus and Cressida. There are 8,000 lines in the poem Troilus and Cressida. And again next we have House of Fame, which is unfinished poem. So these two works belongs to the second period. Next we have Legend of Good Women. So if you look at the spellings, this is the Middle English, or spellings spelled as per the Middle English letter. So you see here the difference between this spelling of Middle English and today's. So Legend of Good Women. Then we have Thisbe, and most famous work or the masterpiece of Geoffrey Chaucer is Canterbury Tales, and there are 24 tales in this Canterbury Tales. So there are always questions asked on Canterbury Tales, so you have to go thoroughly through this Canterbury Tales. So if you asked how many tales were there, so 24 tales, and this tales in the Canterbury are divided into verse tales and prose tales. So there are some prose tales and some verse tales. So you need to know that categorization, which are the verse tales and the prose tales. So original plan of this Canterbury tale was to compose 128 stories or 128 tales, because there were 32 pilgrims set on the journey to Canterbury, and so in this way they would gather and discuss about different types of things, and Chaucer has decided that every pilgrim must tell 4 tales. On the way to Canterbury 2 tales, and on returning journey 2 tales, means every pilgrim should tell 4 tales. And in this way the original plan was of 128 tales, means you can see that by 4, so it is 128. So but 128 tales could not complete, and we have only 24 tales in Canterbury Tales. So this is the plan, and these are the pilgrims who gather at this Tabard Inn. This is the Tabard Inn on the way to Canterbury, and here pilgrims halt for a day, and next day they would set up for their journey to Canterbury. And here Geoffrey Chaucer and other pilgrims gathered, and they decided to tell stories on the way and returning back. Next author or next poet we have William Langland, and the dates are not confirmed, but still some scholars have these dates 1332 to 1386, the lifespan of William Langland. and he composed a very important work. This is Piers Plowman, and it is an allegory. Now you can see that how forms are evolved in the English literature in poetry. So here it is allegory, and it is a complex variety of religious themes. It includes so different types of themes, and hence it becomes very important work. And this illustration is taken from William Langland's Piers Plowman. You can see this illustration, a very different kind of thing. Now next author we have number 3, John Wickliffe, and John Wycliffe's lifespan is considered from 1324 to 1384, and he is called as the father of English prose. There are some scholars who call him as the father of English prose, and again we have King Arthur also. Some scholars call him the father of English prose, but here John Wycliffe, why did he call as the father of English prose? And there is a solid reason, that he translated Bible into English. All the Gospels from the Bible, he translated it into English, and hence many scholars consider him as the father of English prose. Now next we have one more work in this period, and this is Voyage and Travel of Sir John Mandeville, and we do not know the author of this work, but this is a French work or a French poem, and this poem has been translated into English. Now you can see this is translated into English, and this is also a very famous poem in the Middle English period, and many scholars have drawn their material from this poem. And next we came to know that this poem has reached to the households of England, but this poem is of in French origin. It is translated into English, but who translated we don't know. So these works are important in the Age of Chaucer. Before that we talked about the Anglo-Norman period, and then Age of Chaucer, and next we'll talk about the Age of Chaucer and its predecessor. Next there are some important events in this Age of Chaucer, and you can see that this portrait here is the King of England and King of France, and there happened some important events in this period. So let's talk about all these events. So here you see that the very first event, that is 1327, Edward III came on the throne of England. Second, 1338, you find that beginning of 100 years war with France. So this 100 years war are very important, and you can have more information about this 100 years war. Next we have 1348 to 1349, and here Black Death. This year is called as Black Death because plague erupted in the England. So there is a disease called plague, and it was erupted there in the England, and hence the year 48 to 49 is called as Black Death. Next we have 1373, and you find that the Winchester College has been established there. So this Winchester College was one of the earliest colleges in the England, and hence this event is marked by the Reformation in England. Again, next we have 1377, Richard II came on throne, and there we find Wickliffe and Lollards begin in a reformation in England. So this year also is important. 1377, we find that the reformation had started in the England. So all these events are important in the Age of Chaucer. So these authors and events are important if you are preparing for any examination or competitive examination. So I hope you understood all the things we discussed here. If you have any problem, any query, you can comment below in the comment section. We will discuss all the comments. So thank you very much for watching the complete video. Stay tuned, watch Literature Simply, and let's meet in the next video.